6:49, this is your morning in 8 minutes. Today, the Federal Reserve expected to start raising your interest rates.
Well, they hope this will combat the highest inflation the country has seen in 4 decades. So what does this mean for you? Well, you'll pay more to borrow money. Rates will go up for car loans, mortgages, and credit cards. This is the first time they've raised interest rates since 2018. Economists project rates will continue to go up throughout the year. And this comes as there are some new red flags about the possibility of a recession. In addition to sky-high prices, analysts are also worried about another economic sign, the flattening of the yield curve for bonds. If that curve inverts, that means short-term investments in U.S. Treasury bonds pay more than long-term ones. When they flip, that's considered a bad sign for the economy. Inverted yield curves often precede recessions, as they did in 2000, 07, and 2019. It's something the Federal Reserve is watching closely this morning. And one of the things that's driving inflation right now, gas prices. But here's a look at what you'll be paying today in Knoxville. The average sticking around $4.16 per gallon. That was the same as yesterday. Nationwide sitting around $4.31 per gallon. So no major spikes today, which is good news. And those gas prices are hitting rideshare drivers hard starting today. If you order an Uber, it's going to cost you more.
The company says it's rolling out a temporary fuel fee to offset those gas prices. This will apply to rides and Uber Eats deliveries. The money will go directly to the drivers. You can expect to pay up to 45 cents on each Uber Eats order or up to 55 cents per ride. Uber says it will reevaluate the surcharge in about 60 days. Lyft says it will also roll out a surcharge fee as well. And continuing coverage this morning, despite a cyber attack, East Tennessee Children's Hospital officials say they can still effectively care for your children.
The hospital's been fighting off the attack since late Sunday night. In a statement, the CEO says you should still bring your child in for care if they need it. He says cyber forensics teams and outside agencies are still doing everything they can to stop the attack and avoid any disruptions. They have not said if patient information is affected in this hack.
Covering your health this morning, a 4th COVID-19 shot for people over 65 could be available soon. Pfizer submitting an application for emergency use authorization for a second booster shot. Pfizer says it's continuing to collect data and talk with health officials about a vaccine strategy and whether a 4th dose will really be needed. And should time change be a thing of the past? Some lawmakers think so.
The U.S. Senate unanimously passed a measure that would make daylight saving time permanent and get rid of setting clocks back in the fall. Senators argue it lowers crime, it helps combat seasonal depression, and most people prefer it. The bill must now pass the House. Republican Senator Marco Rubio sponsored the Sunshine Protection Act. If it does happen, the change would not go into effect until next November because transportation schedules have already been built for this fall.
Taking a look around the world this morning, you are looking live in Ukraine. Billions of dollars of aid from the United States on the way to the country after President Biden signed it into law. And an additional $800 million in military assistance is expected to be announced today. Ukraine's President Vladimir Zelensky thanked the White House, but this morning he's expected to call for more concrete help from the U.S. to fight the Russians. President Zelensky will virtually address the United States Congress today. He spoke to Canada's Parliament already, repeating his call for a no-fly zone, something he's expected to do again today. But the West has refused out of fear for an all-out war, as NATO pilots would be directly engaged with the Russians.
And around East Tennessee, Pigeon Forge is reporting a decline in tourism in January compared to last year.
But city leaders say they're still optimistic for the year ahead. City revenues saw about a 13% decline to start the year. However, spring break bookings point to a rebound in the coming months. The tourism director says the COVID surge, snow, gas prices, all contributing factors to the drop. Overall, though, nearly $2 billion in taxes were collected in Pigeon Forge last year. That's $500 million more than the record-breaking year in 2019.
Well, the U.S. Postal Service holding a hiring fair in Maryville today. They're looking for more mail carriers to cover some of their rural areas. This comes after we reported those staffing challenges at the end of January, causing major delivery delays for some of you living in Blount County. The hiring fair is today from noon until 4 at the Blount County Library. Starting pay is at just over $19 an hour.
And WVLT proud to be your official station of the Vols. We are just one day away from the first round of the NCAA tournament. The Vols taking on the Longwood Lancers. Huskers. They left campus yesterday, headed to Indianapolis. You can catch tomorrow's game right here on WVLT. Tip-off is at 2:45. Winner faces either Colorado State or Michigan in the second round. And tonight we'll have our official tournament preview special show. It's Big Orange Madness. We'll talk all things Vols, Lady Vols. You can catch it tonight at 7 o'clock over on WBXX, the CW Knoxville. And the first round gets started tomorrow, but the first four is already underway. Texas Southern takes down the Islanders of Texas A&M Corpus Christi for the right to play #1 Kansas. And Indiana cruises by Wyoming. The Hoosiers now face St. Mary's in the first round. I've got Indiana going for a little while in my bracket, so they need to keep going. Yeah, and it continues tonight on True TV. First up, 16 seeds Bryant and Wright State at 6:40, followed by Notre Dame and Rutgers. The winner of that takes on Alabama.
All right, we're officially March Madness, and on the diamond, the Vol baseball team set to enter SEC play after a dominant win at home last night against Eastern Kentucky. Trey Lipscomb hit 2 home runs to give him a 7-1 win over the Colonels. The team hosts South Carolina at Lindsey Nelson Stadium this weekend. It is a sellout. You can still get a ticket on a secondary site if you want to go. Games start Friday.
It is 6:55. We do want to get right to Whitney Turner with your first alert traffic.
Extra time needed for this rainy Wednesday morning. You can expect those slick conditions along I-40 from Cumberland County all the way into Knox County, along I-75 from McMinn into Loudoun, even some ponding concerns in Blount County, and wet roads in Sevier County as well. Want to give you a live look at Alcoa Highway this morning. You see that water on the roadways also impacting your visibility. Make sure you're reducing your speed and increasing your following distance.
Your first alert forecast with meteorologist Paige Noel.
And we're continuing to track that heavy rain, definitely moving into the Southern Valley, now moving closer to the valley here, especially into Knoxville. 51 degrees right now, 47 there, Oak Ridge, 46, Pigeon Forge, lower 50s, Morristown to Washburn. As you guys haven't seen that rain quite yet, definitely still seeing the heaviest into parts of Loudoun County. Moving into Morgan County and starting to hear some moderate rainfall here on the roof in Knoxville. Starting to see some of that moderate rainfall from Blount to Sevier County as well. Going to continue to track this throughout the rest of the morning. Give yourself plenty of time to get to where you're going. However, your jogging forecast trying to get out a little bit later this afternoon. 60 by 3 o'clock, 61 for that high today, getting a little bit drier, but hanging on to those spotty rain chances as we head into those afternoon hours. Got another cold front by the end of the week. Your St. Patrick's Day not looking bad. Spring begins this weekend, feeling like it too. 64 degrees, lower 70s, potentially some storms next week. We'll continue to keep an eye on. Just got to get through this rain though the next couple of days.
I saw that cold front on there, and the good news is it's not as cold as it was going to be.
No, not like last weekend by any means.
Yeah, it's kind of scaring me. Looking forward to spring, St. Patrick's Day, the NCAA tournament, a lot to look forward to. We are going to continue our coverage of everything going on over on WBXX coming up in just a few minutes.
Yeah. Be careful out there. It is a soggy start. Have a good Wednesday.